Hey, welcome back to the 5-Minute Strategist. I don't think there's any area of our business that beats marketing in terms of us doing things because we think we should. We have a tendency to try to do all the marketing all the time. We think we need to be on every platform, we need to be creating every type of content, and it can get exhausting. And one of the things we forget to do is actually take a step back, ask ourselves what our strategy is, and which of these efforts is getting us results in that direction. What's working well so that we can go all in? What's not working so well so that we can do a little bit less? And so instead of just diving in face first, let's think about what our overall strategy is. What does that make our marketing goals? And then what does that look like in terms of action towards that goal? Are you trying to get more brand awareness, right? So try to get people to know your name. Are you trying to get leads, get people onto your list, or are you trying to make sales? Each of these goals requires something different. And the problem is when we try to do all of them at the same time, it can be really hard to have enough time, money, energy, so the resources that we need to actually go all in on a strategy. And it can make it really difficult for us to figure out what was working. If you're tweaking everything all over the place, you can't tell what difference one particular tweak has made. Brand awareness requires us to think about content creation and social media and partnerships and networking. Lead generation makes you think of email marketing and opt-ins and freebies and maybe paid ads. They're two completely different actions for two completely different goals, and we need to treat them as such. Once you know where you're headed, then you can start to look at what is working in the context of that goal. And you might have some anecdotal evidence that goes, oh, well, this client told me they found me on Instagram, and somebody else told me that they found me on TikTok. That anecdotal evidence, while if it's the only thing you've got, is at least a vague steer in the right direction. But ideally, this kind of decision comes down to cold, hard facts. And the great thing about that is no other part of our business gives us as many data points as marketing does. So you want to be looking at your key performance indicators or your KPIs to figure out where things are working in your marketing and where things are not working, and they might need a tweak or where you can just give up. And then the number one question I get as soon as I start talking about KPIs is which KPIs? And in this case, the answer is it depends. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to grow a giant audience? Like say you're going to launch a book next year and you just want as many people to know about you as possible. Then you're looking at things like reach and traffic. If you're trying to gather new leads, then you're looking at opt-ins and cost per lead. If you're trying to close more clients into your offers, then you're looking at close rates and customer acquisition costs. So you can be tracking all of these things all of the time. That's totally fine. Then you think about what is your goal, what is your strategy, and pick the ones that you're going to focus on. And as a side note here, I want to remind you that KPIs do not exist in a vacuum, right? Context is important. So the more data that you have about your specific business, the better you're going to be able to adjust. Because what happens when we don't have that context of our own business, of our own data, is we see that so-and-so business guru said on TikTok that their conversion is X%. And you might look at your own and go, mine's only half of that. I'm doing a terrible job. I might as well abandon this. But actually, if you looked back over your data, you would see now you've doubled your rate from 6 months ago. So you're improving things. You're on the right track. That context helps you make the right decision in that moment. So if you haven't been tracking your KPIs, now is the time to start. Marketing does give us oodles of data that we can use. Lots of quantitative data. But don't forget to also gather some more qualitative data to round out that picture. Remember, context is everything. What is the feedback loop that you have in your business specific to your marketing? How are you gathering information on your audience to add color to the metrics that you're seeing? And this can be you're surveying them, it can be social media conversations that you're having, it could be things your customers are telling you, but these insights on what people in your audience value, what their pain points are, their experience, is what adds color to the very black and white data to give you that full picture. And then when you have that full picture, you can now go, okay, what is working? What's not working? What changes do I want to make? And then how am I going to measure all of that? So is your marketing strategy well thought out, well executed, and delivering the desired results.